Patients occupy beds for 14 days and 12% of the cases require ICU, which I've read online. First is their capacity from a paper written in 2012, and this is the peak new daily cases. Okay, I could change the timing of this actually. It might be 16 days, or it might be the 40% who die are there for 10 days and the 60% who survive are there for 20 days. But I'm just saying 14 days as a rough average. So they're going to be over their total capacity. They need 12,000 ICU beds, right? They might have already increased that capacity, but you know, they're probably going to need that many ventilators as well. Anyway, I've just done, okay, the trend for Italy actually doesn't look so awful now, but it doesn't look great. Let's compare it to South Korea. South Korea trend and the China trend looked a bit like this as well. Falling percentage daily change quite quickly. Italy's falling quite a lot more slowly, which gives you a much higher forecast for 330,000 cases at the end. Okay, now I've just tentatively done the France trend, which is extremely shallow. The UK trend, these aren't really very reliable yet. Extremely shallow. Okay. So the Spain trend, pretty extremely shallow, not quite as it's shallow. And the Germany trend, very shallow indeed. And that gives me forecasts on the actual main spreadsheet. Okay. So, which does best? Italy, I'm getting 362,000, okay, or so, as I showed in the graph. This is when I put the coefficients at the top. They're the coefficients for various days for Italy. Okay, if I go along to the others, to France and the UK, I put the coefficients in there, and then I'll fill in the numbers. France, I'm getting a figure of 229,000. Okay. Oops. UK, not so good. I'm getting a figure of 1.3 million. Germany, I'm getting a figure of 2.27 million. And Spain, I'm getting a figure of 4.13 million. Now these are going to be very volatile at the moment, but I mean, how many points are there on the trend already? There are 20 points, 20 plus points on each of these trends. You know, that's quite a few points. There aren't that many more on the Italy trend. And the Italy trend has been going down, but again not that fast, but a lot more reliably. That's about 30 points on that trend. Okay, so that's a little bit more sure. The others I'm not really sure about yet. The Italy death trend is not very reliable, but again that's falling, and that gives me for Italy deaths possibly where am I? 49,000 for Italy deaths, which against the 300,000 odd cases is going to be 320,000 cases. That's going to be about a 14-15% death rate, but that's on the cases that are recorded, of course. And that's not far out from the estimates from some of the figures that you see online, because a lot of these cases have to go into ICU in Italy, and the mild cases just aren't recorded. 3474, that was the deaths for China that I was forecasting, which has come out about right. I'm getting 2 billion plus for the whole of the rest of the world. So the global forecast is 2.2 billion. I got 80,000 for China. That was very accurate because it's coming out at about 81,000 and that particular epidemic is at an end, but they could of course get another one. And then I got 8,000 or 9,000 odd for South Korea. Okay, 8895 South Korea's at the moment, and I was getting kind of 8.5 actually, but modifying it now I'm getting like 9.25. But the South Korea trend has ended actually, to be honest, and they're getting like a new mini epidemic in South Korea, as you can see from their curve if I can find it. Okay, so they ended the first epidemic at 8,500, and now they got another one, and a small one so far. Hopefully it's not a big one, because they've dealt with it very well. So that's today's broadcast over today. These are incredibly well, rather bleak but very unsure forecast for Spain, France, Germany and the UK, but the Italy forecast I've got a fair amount of confidence in it actually, at 350,000 ish. And that's it for today. Bye.